Can I ask you some like questions about like your creativity and whatnot? I mean, like, maybe why do you feel like you create art? Why did you get into that? Besides like necessity, do you feel like it's like
Mostly, well, it was mostly
needs to be
necessity, but then I found the right side of my brain, and I love to create, I love to experiment, and I'm doing that all the time. Like instead of doing watercolor on paper now, I do watercolor on canvas.
Yeah, you're always experimenting. And when you're experimenting, do you feel like you kind of like go into like a flow? Do you know, like, what does it feel like?
I get into it, and I won't. When I first started watercolor on canvas, people said, "You can't do that.
Yeah.
It's meant to be on paper."
Yeah.
And as soon as you say that word "can't,"
then you want to do
then
it.
I want to do it, and I prove everybody wrong.
And you can make it look good too.
And I do. You know, you could see in my pictures that I could do anything I want.
Maybe that's like your inspiration to like prove people wrong. Maybe you love to prove people wrong.
I stick my heels in and say, "Watch me."
Yeah. Do you ever feel? I feel like people maybe. Do you ever feel like blocked creatively? Like you don't know what to do next, or
yeah, sometimes
or do you just want something else?
I'll get like a blank canvas or something, and I'm thinking, you know, and I'll walk away and leave it, or I'll come back later in the evening and start working, and then my brain starts to work.
Yeah, you just got to find the right time, I guess.
I've got to find the
and you can't try too hard. Definitely.
Yeah. And I push myself sometimes, and because I mean, I'm 90 years old, I get tired, and that's the one thing that I get angry about, is that I don't feel 90. I feel, well, my doctor said I had the body of a 70-year-old, and I had to go into hospital I had a kind of an episode with, acid reflux, and it gave me pains in my chest. And she said, "I've never seen a person of your age have such a clear brain."
I'm surprised that you still make art at your age.
Yeah.
Can you tell the camera how old you are?
90.
You're 90 years old, still making art.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Well, it seems like your whole life, like you always play by your own rules. You live like almost a very alternative lifestyle.
Well, my dad always said nobody would sit on me.
Yeah. No one could stop you from doing it.
Nobody could stop me doing what I wanted to do.
Yeah. Unapologetically living.
Right, yeah.
That's interesting. So you're very much like an experimentalist. You're always trying out new things.
I did a lot of experimenting.
And does it seem like you're very inspired by trends of the time? Or you're just more inspired by just like creating your own thing?
No, I was always doing my own thing.
Yeah.
And
that's a true artist.
When we went down to Florida, of course, we extended it, and eventually we just stayed there.
In Florida.
In Florida, and the Florida.
Was Florida like the kind of crazy out there?
It was great.
Yeah.
And the artists, there were big art groups down there.
Yeah.
We did the Coconut Grove show, which even to this day is a very, very big show. Cool. And you know, up here they say, "Oh, there's too many artists, too much competition." We did shows where there were 400 artists.
Yeah.
And everybody made money.
Yeah.
They didn't whine about it. I'm sorry I say this, but in Canada they do. Yeah, they're always afraid somebody else is going to make money and you're not, and they're not.
And what was back then, maybe from what was different back then, is that there was community. So everyone elevated each other. They all made money together.
Right.
It wasn't like me versus you. You're stealing the attention, my attention.
Exactly. And everybody worked together, and there was a camaraderie there that there isn't here, I find.
Yeah.
And I found this when I came back, very much so in BC.
Yeah.
And we stayed down there, and we did shows. And I was doing the dolls. And I said to my husband one day, I got tired of doing the dolls, and I said to my husband one day, I would like to do watercolors. So I entered 2 pieces in the actual jury part of it. And we had the wine and cheese like you do for the opening, and we stood there, and it was the curator of the Fine Arts Museum in Miami, was the curator of the show, the jurist. And she kept saying, "Margaret Burns," and I'm looking around for somebody else, because this is the second award. And my husband said, "It's you idiot."
You're surprised.
And I didn't believe it. So I went up and accepted it. And then, of course, we had a little setup outside. And she came out and she said, "Oh, you're Margaret Burns." this is your work. And I said, do you know I've just been painting for 2 weeks? And she said, well, young lady, you've got it, keep it up. And I've been painting ever since. I just kept going and kept experimenting, messing and playing around with it. And I've been doing it for 54 years this year.
Maybe like a philosophical question. Where do you think our creativity comes from? Do you think it's all from the brain? Or?
I think it comes from the brain. I think anybody can be an artist.
Yeah.
I think you just have to try and be persistent.
And look within yourself and find it.
Right, exactly, because as I said, I had no interest in it whatsoever. Mm-hmm. And same with home ec and sewing and all that. Yeah, I ended up making my husband's suit.
Yeah.
Because, and once you get started, if you keep, persistent, you can do anything as far as the art's concerned.
So what's
what you find interesting?
Yeah. So what's your artistic process typically? Do you always switch new things? So you don't really have a set process, right?
I don't really have a process. I just get into it.
You start moving your hands and something comes out hopefully.
Yeah.
So do you draw? You said you drew inspiration from people saying you couldn't do something. Do you draw inspiration from other artists or anything like that? Or pay attention to any other artists?
Not really.
You have no favorite artists either?
No. Yeah. I like some of the older British artists like Turner and also what's his name, Winslow and Palmer.
Some of the classicals.
Yeah, some of the older. But I'm not really influenced by anybody. I just do my thing.
That's good.
Mm-hmm. I don't copy people. I don't do what they do.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think we've had a pretty good interview. I think.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun talking, so I think we'll wrap it up here. All right, thanks, Margaret.
You're very welcome.